Hi, I am Miriam Pisano with Shekinah Lawrence, Triton College's faculty librarian with Conversations at Triton. Hi, Shekinah.
Hello there.
So, why don't we first start out with you telling me about your early life? Where did you grow up and go to school?
Well, I grew up down south in Tennessee. I was born here in Chicago, but my family moved to Tennessee when I was very young, so I grew up in the south. I'm a southern girl, and western Tennessee, actually, so closer to Memphis, Jackson, in that area.
What do you think is the best part about growing up in the South?
Oh my goodness, the weather, because here is freezing cold and the winters are like 6 months long. But you would think after several years of being here, I'd be used to it. I'm totally not. But that's what I miss. I miss the weather. It was so beautiful.
So, where did you go to high school and college?
I went to high school in a little town called Adamsville, Tennessee, Adamsville High School. Um, People probably don't remember this, but years ago there was a man named Buford Pusser, and it was a huge like movie in the 70s. I'm not that old, but that's what that movie was. So I went to that high school, and then I went to college at Alabama A&M University in Normal, Alabama, also Huntsville, and then I went to Governor State University for my first master's in communication, and then I finished up with my second master's in library science at Dominican University.
Okay, that's where I went, my alma mater.
Oh, awesome.
So, what led you to the Chicagoland area? Is it because you went to Dominican for your master's degree?
Actually, I came back several years ago because my family lived here. So part of my family lives in the South, and the rest of my family lives here in Chicago. And when I finished college from down South, we decided to move up here to Chicago.
Okay. So when did you become interested in reading and books? What made you fall in love with literature?
Oh my goodness. Always interested in reading and books is one of my favorite things. I find reading to be um, escapism. I love it to learn. So that has been something that's been with me forever. It never occurred to me until I was an adult, though, to become a librarian. So I was always into reading and studying and learning, but becoming a librarian came much later.
So what inspired you to become a librarian?
Well, funny enough, I was actually on the website for Dominican looking for work because I wanted to teach in my first master's for communication. And then I noticed that they had a librarian um, graduate degree. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've never thought about that. So I decided to apply for that instead of work and joined the program and loved it. And it was interesting because it's a really good range of people where half of the group was second career people and the other half of the group was I wanted to be a librarian my whole life. And so it actually was really fun to meet lots of diverse people from all walks of life studying to become librarians. So it was great.
So what led you to Triton College?
So, Triton, I actually did not plan to come into academic libraries. I thought that public libraries would be where I would spend my career, and it was really fun. I've worked in a couple of local public libraries that I've really enjoyed. But when I saw that Triton was hiring, I thought it would be interesting to kind of get experience on both sides because academic libraries and public libraries are very different. And I felt like I wanted to kind of stretch myself to be able to answer questions outside of disciplines that I was familiar with. So I came to Triton with the hope that I would be able to learn based on the questions I was being asked by students.
This is something that surprised me about our library is that this library is open to anybody in the
Hmm.
community. It's not just for Triton students, and the books here are not just academic books. You could get children's books or young adult novels or
Hmm.
anything like that. So that really surprised me.
Yeah, this is a community library. And actually, most academic libraries are community libraries, but people in the community aren't aware. They just kind of assume, oh, that's for the students, and I shouldn't go into that library. But we welcome the community. We do have things to hopefully lure them in, like the leisure reading, children's books, programming. It's not just for the Triton community, it's for the community at large.
And I know that our library does so many interesting different events, such as we're celebrating National Pizza Day, and we're doing a lot for Black History Month. So what kinds of things do you have coming up for February for Black History Month?
Well, February is a really fun month because not only does it have all of these fun national days, it also gives us an opportunity to kind of rest into the semester. So when our semester starts at Triton right after Martin Luther King Day, I know that many of the students and faculty are very inundated with just beginning coursework and beginning classes. So we try to hold off on programming until February, which is great because then February does bring in Black History Month, National Pizza Day, Valentine's Day, all of these fun things that we can say that, okay, now that you're in the semester, let's start with some programming to kind of remind people of all of the wonderful resources that the library has to offer. Because that's really the main draw of programming, is to bring people into the space so that they can remember the things that they love about the library. So for the month of February, we're kicking off with our National Pizza Day celebration. And it's really not just an opportunity to just give away free pizza. I mean, you don't think about eating when you come to the library. In fact, we get those questions all the time. Can I eat in the library? Yes, you can. Just be respectful and clean up after yourself.
Sure.
But we give it a library spin where we bring in people debating what they prefer. And so our fun spin is, what do you like better, thin crust or deep dish? You would not believe the strong opinions about what kind of pizza is better. But that gives people an opportunity to get conversations going. You get to see some passion about a fun topic that's not too critical. And it can pull in many different disciplines in our college. So we have our culinary group, who actually know the mechanics of building pizzas. You have our philosophy group, who know how to debate back and forth. You have rhetoric students. You have history students. You just have folks who enjoy eating pizza. So I think that makes it really fun. And again, it's the point of bringing the people into the library. But for Black History Month, we have the whole month to celebrate this wonderful Heritage Month. And we're kicking it off with a story walk. So we've taken the book The Undefeated by Kwame Alexander, and it's been beautifully illustrated by Kadir Nelson. And we've deconstructed the book so that you can see each page individually as its own piece of art. And we're going to put it up in our main commons area where people can just kind of walk and read and reflect as they're reading. So these are the types of programming within the library that make a little bit more sense, because you can still come and study and not be kind of distracted by noise, but you can reflect, think, maybe bring a question to your mind, and now you're right here in the library to go and get a book about whatever question you had or that you were thinking about. We will also be participating in the leadership conference that's happening with Triton on the 24th, and then on the 28th, we will be doing a leadership symposium, kind of like a response to that conference, where we have a few students coming into the library to talk about what leadership means to them, how they are being mentored towards leadership, and then we will have a keynote speaker who is a faculty here at Triton to share her views on leadership and to encourage and inspire students.
Which one are you looking most forward to?
Oh my goodness, that's hard to say. But I guess if I had to be honest, the story walk, because this is a beautiful, beautiful book. And we will have copies available of the book for checkout. But more importantly, just getting a chance to see these illustrations and the message, I think that it'll be really impactful. And it'll also highlight that even though we're an academic library, we have a really robust children's collection. We have really beautiful picture books and really easy to read and understand fiction and nonfiction books for not just juveniles, but non-English speakers who are learning English can also use our juvenile collection. People really enjoy our graphic novel section, which is actually on the other side of this set of books here. So those are the things that I'm excited about. So looking at that beautiful book and deconstructing it and letting people walk through the library almost like a museum or like an art gallery, I think it'll be really nice.
I had never heard of a story walk before, so this will be very exciting for me as well.
Well, story walks actually gained a little bit of popularity around the pandemic. So when libraries were trying to figure out ways to bring people in so that they could be interactive but yet keep their distance. Some of the local libraries did story walks outside of their grounds, and they would kind of build their stories and stake them in the ground around the property, and then people could walk around with their families and feel safe but still enjoy things that the library had to offer. And I thought, why not bring that into Black History Month, showcase a beautiful Caldecott winner, it's a 2020 Caldecott winner, but figure out a way to do it in the building instead of out of the building. Of course, I couldn't stake anything into the ground, so we're going to use some of our acrylic stands to set things up around the library, and people can walk through and encounter this beautiful book.
What do you think is something that students would find surprising about this library?
Well, one of the things I think is interesting is the collection that we have spans from when the library began back in the 1960s. And on the one hand, that would kind of seem like, oh, you have a whole lot of old books. But sometimes these old books are not in print anymore, and they're unable to be found anywhere else. So I think that's kind of fun for that person who's really a book nerd and who likes to go and look at some of the older things that we have. And it's not to say that that's the legacy of this library. It's just to say that we've had an opportunity to kind of capture, collect, and curate things from many decades. So it kind of spans the test of time. Now, we will be doing a massive weeding program in the near future so that we can definitely keep everything that we have up to date and current and relevant for the students. But I think some students who are book nerds would find that pretty fun.
So students who are book nerds, where could they go to learn more about Black History Month, or in March, Women's History Month?
Well, our website is what we really try to spend time keeping updated, so that when students come to the website, they don't just go there just to find research for their papers and their assignments. If they go to our programming tab on the website, they can find all the things that's happening. Oh, and as a matter of fact, I forgot to mention, every Thursday we play a film. And so for the month of February, we're doing Black history films that are really more documentaries that students can come in and watch and enjoy, and then if they want, they can stream them at home. So our website is the place where students can go to find out anything they need to know about what's happening in the library. And I also want to highlight our blog. So one of our reference librarians, River Seiler, is very good at keeping our blog updated, and they spend a lot of time focusing in on current events, good things to read, Black History Month, Women's History Month, LGBTQ, all of these things that we want people to know that we have resources if they have questions.
And what about if a student wants to check out an audiobook? Does Triton Library also have that as well?
We do have ebooks and audiobooks. We have a robust overdrive selection on our website. So if you go to our website under the Find Books tab, there are all kinds of links that link you to ebooks. eBook Central is one of our repositories, as well as Overdrive. And so both of those repositories have not only books that they can use for their assignments, but books that they can read for leisure as well.
And there has been some exciting things happening in this library. I know recently the library got the Bean Bar, and are students utilizing it, and what do they like the most about
yes.
it?
We were
Where's the best study spot after they get their coffee?
Well, that's still all over the library.
Okay.
I mean, students love this library. You can come pretty much at any time of the day throughout the week, and you'll find students kind of hanging out in corners, out in the open, playing chess. We have chess that's out all the time. But the Bean Bar was a really welcome treat to our library. It kind of set up our little library cafe. And so in that area where the Bean Bar is situated, students can come, get a cup of coffee or some matcha tea, and enjoy something hot while they're studying. But that area where the Bean Bar machine is also features our periodicals and magazines. So any member from the community can come in and enjoy a cup of coffee and read the latest gossip or the latest news.
And what's your favorite coffee?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I just love coffee in general. I love mochas. So mocha lattes are probably my go-to because I always have to mix a little chocolate in the mix.
The Bean Bar also has hot chocolate as well.
Yes, it does have hot chocolate. In fact, one of the students, actually she's an alumni of Triton, is the owner of the Bean Bar. So we've partnered with her, and she's brought in this wonderful machine that they meticulously keep up. They come in every couple of days to make sure everything is working well. If they're around, they're always offering free drinks. So be on the lookout for Murda. And she's very kind. And I think that the biggest thing about her bean bar machine is that the coffee is good. And they spend a lot of time making sure that everything is perfect for our library.
So Triton students are just so lucky to have this library. They have a bean bar, they have special events, they have great study spots. This is just a one-of-a-kind library. What do you think is the best part about this library?
The people that work here. So I think that our circulation staff, our librarians, our tech group, we all really take a lot of pride in this space. We are here for the students, we're here for the community, and it is our pleasure to serve the Triton community. And so, we work really hard. We're very excited when the semester gets going. We spend a lot of time helping the students get their computers and their laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots. All of these things are how we serve the Triton community. And so it's the people that want to serve that make it a good place.
What's a typical day as a Triton College librarian?
Well, most of our days are spent serving the students. So we sit at the desk, which is the reference desk, which is a part of the circulation desk, and we serve students. We help students with their assignments. We help students find articles and books that they need to fulfill their assignments. A lot of students have questions about printing because they want to make sure that they have everything they need for class. And then just being available when they have questions about anything that's going on in the college, because if it's not something that we do or know, we definitely will take the time to find out so that we can help everybody. And we can't say that we're fully a one-stop shop, but we'll definitely help you get you to where you need to go.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you two very fun questions. The
Okay.
first question's a little bit controversial.
Okay.
Do you prefer, we were talking about National Pizza Day,
Mm.
do you prefer deep dish or thin crust?
Well, libraries are meant to be neutral spaces, so it's like you don't want to lean to one side or lean to another side and offend anyone. But just between you and me, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Thin crust is where it's at for me.
I prefer thin crust as well. I think the thick crust is just too much food.
Well, here's something that I thought was an interesting perspective, because as you may have guessed, many of my coworkers here at the library have been discussing this for weeks.
Okay.
And we kind of have an opinion that deep dish pizza is an event pizza, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of a party, let's all get together type of pizza, where thin crust is your everyday, I want to eat some pizza type of pizza. So it's your go-to.
I agree.
So, yeah.
And what are you currently reading right now since you are a librarian?
Well, I'm a huge Bible nerd. So I am always not only just reading the Bible, but learning new things about the Bible. I'm really interested in some of the older translations, and I really enjoy looking at things being translated from Greek into what we're reading now, and then also even some of the Hebrew translations. I do not read Greek and Hebrew, but I do enjoy looking at like the concordances to talk about what those words were and what they mean. And so that's what I spend a lot of my spare time, or my free time is learning more about how to read the Bible, I guess from a historical perspective, as meditative literature, spiritual, and it's for my faith.
I know Triton College has a Bible study group. Are you involved with that group?
Actually, I'm not. I just recently learned about it, so I'm super excited to maybe meet some people from that group. But no, I haven't had a chance to interact with them.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think I missed?
Oh my goodness. I think we covered everything. I just want people to come into the library, enjoy the space, let them know that we're here for them. They can ask questions and we'll find them some answers.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.